You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters two-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor, where Bubba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. And Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Good evening and welcome to White River Junction, Vermont for tonight's Division I high school football match between the South Burlington Sea-Wolves and the Hartford Hurricanes. Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Stout, joined by Ben Gardner, and tonight an exciting matchup here under the lights. And Ben, first let's take a look at Burlington, South Burlington. They merged a few years ago, struggled so far in the last few years, but tonight should be a good match. Who should we watch for on the Sea-Wolves?
I think number 68, Brett Bowman, is a defensive end, tight end, plays tackle here and there. He's a man-child out there. He's about 6. Looking at him, he's not listed on the roster, but he's about 6'4", it looks like. Probably goes 240. Powerhouse. I've watched him on film. He's quick off the ball. He fires out of his stance. He drives people back. He dominates his position on the field. It'll be tough matchup for Hartford to contain him. My recommendation would be try and trap him, get underneath him, settle him down a little bit, and see what they can do. But he's a force on defense out there.
Yeah, we were watching him in the warm-ups, and he looked like a big guy, so we'll see what they can do tonight. And for the Hartford Hurricanes, we've seen them once this season. They like to keep the ball on the ground, but they can throw it a little bit. Who should we watch for tonight?
I think Cole's got to have a good game tonight, to be honest. I think they've got to establish the ground game. They've got to be able to run the ball between the tackles. And if they can do that and play that through 4 quarters and be patient with the football, I think they'll have some success. And they're going to have to throw it here and there a little bit just to get them out of the box. And if they can do that, a couple passes here and there, I think they've got a pretty good chance.
All right, it should be a good one on a chilly evening in White River Junction, Vermont. It's the Sea-Wolves and the Hurricanes. Coming up next, the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner here as we are set for kickoff. Sea-Wolves won the toss and they deferred to the second half, and the Hurricanes will be taking the opening kickoff here. Ball's kicked deep, a couple returners there, dropped at the 15-yard line, but then returned, and that was number 22 on the carrier, Cole Shambo, and it'll be a first down for the Hurricanes. Looks like they'll spot the ball just about at the 30.
Tackled by number 4, Leonard Ben.
So, Ben, we were here a couple weeks ago when you weren't with us, but they were playing Middlebury, and we were talking before the game. They really played them close, played a great game for 3.5 quarters, and then kind of just slipped away from them. I guess some injuries and things like that, so we'll see where they come back. This team does, and they didn't quit. They scored a couple touchdowns late and got an onside kick, so they don't quit.
They definitely did. It was 4 quarters of football. A lot of guys playing both ways, so fourth quarter's tough.
First down and 10 from the 30. Cole Jasmine, as we mentioned in the pregame, is the quarterback. He's under center. And the handoff, a little counter the other way. A nice gain, 8 yards, and a nice first down run there for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key to the game to Hartford tonight, is they're going to have to get the ball between the tackles, off tackle, and then settle that defensive ends down.
So it looks like that goes down as a 9-yard gain, second and a long 1. This could about the 39-yard line. They have to get to the 40 for the first down. Jasmine with Shambo in motion, and the handoff to Shambo again, this to the right side. And a big gain, dragging a couple defenders and all the way out to almost midfield, and a first down, Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's great blocking on the edge by the Hurricanes there. I'm starting to notice, too, the 68, Brett Bowman, is playing nose tackle right now. He plays defensive end. They're moving him around on defense, trying to wreak havoc on the defensive line.
And we talked about him. You talked about him in the pregame as basically the biggest player on the field. And he'll get in on both sides of the ball, as a lot of these players do, as you mentioned. And you're right, it's kind of, if you're Coach Trombley, you're probably keying on him most of the time.
Yeah, I think they're trying to run away from him whenever possible.
And this handoff goes up the middle, and it looks like another nice gain, and that's Burek there, the senior running back. Called his name quite often last time. Kept it on the ground, and a 6-yard gain. 5-yard gain, excuse me, so they'll bring up second down and 5 from the 46-yard line of the Sea-Wolves. Hurricanes coming into this one 2-3, getting the win earlier this year on a forfeit against Rice. And the Sea-Wolves 1-4, and the handoff again. This time Burek is able to get another first down all the way up to the 35-yard line. That'll move the chains, and we call it, you call it. They're going to keep the ball on the ground until they get stopped.
Until they can't anymore. I think that's the name of the game for them tonight. Wing T offense, pull and trap, keep the ball between the tackles, get it on the edge.
And they'll use, I mean, we've already seen a couple running backs. Now, will they use a couple other guys in there? I believe last time we were here, I think there was 3 or 4 of them who got the ball.
Yeah, so Hartford, typically we refer to it as running back U. We've always got kids who can carry the football here.
And here we go again off to the left side, and another big gain. That one, Shambo with the first down inside the 25-yard line and moving the chains nicely and keeping this defense guessing, really. Like you said, you don't know who's going to be getting the ball and which way they're going. Nice job so far.
Yeah, I think the game plan coming into this game is working out for them.
Yeah, inside 9.5 minutes to play, Hurricanes get the opening kickoff, and they've already moved the ball nicely. Sits at the 23-yard line. First down and 10. Jasmine under center. Shambo behind him, or excuse me, that's Burek maybe with the carry.
Yeah, and you can see here they're moving Bowman outside now on the end. They're running off tackle now, so they're moving him out to the end to see if they can get the stops out there. So it's going to be a chess match back and forth with running away from him, running at him, and a little bit of a guessing game right now.
Second down and 3. Again, kind of that bunch formation. 3 running backs, 1 in motion. And the handoff again to the right side. Looks like that's number 26. Not sure who that is on our program. We don't have a 26. Shea Bean, or is it 36 maybe? Trying to get a readout on that.
Mike, who carried that? Yeah. So Shea Bean there with the carry, yep.
Shea Bean picks up the first down, and now we've got first and goal. The ball is just across the 10-yard line. So clock moving, 4 minutes gone by in this opening frame. Hurricanes have elected to keep it on the ground, as they do again there, and a big 9-yard pickup from Shambo. And it'll bring second down and goal.
Yeah, it was a really nice cut there on that speed sweep. Sticks his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and he finds the opening. It's key to that play. This was a good run by the running back there.
And then we were talking in the pregame, just with the wind and the elements, really you're going to see a lot of carrying on the ground, and then obviously I think every play has been positive yardage, 4 or 5 yards, so no sense in putting it in the air. And the pitch to the outside, this one looks like it's stopped. The ball carrier wrapped up to about the 4-yard line.
Yep, there's a loss, so there's your first loss
right?
of the game right there.
Just as I say it.
Yeah. But penetration off the outside there.
Yeah, and that was actually the first pitch play. All the other ones have kind of been that handoff, so Maybe the Hurricanes saw something they wanted to try, and that'll be 3rd down and 4, and clock moving, a lot of clock coming off on this opening drive. Hurricanes keeping the ball on the ground, moving the chains. Jasmine under center, again in motion. And the handoff up the middle, just off the left tackle, and the ball carrier stopped, and here's 4th down and goal. And Ben, you got to imagine this is a 4-down territory, no question.
Yeah, I think you got to go for it here. Field goal here is not something you want to settle for on the 1-yard line on the first drive of the game. You're moving the ball pretty easily down the field. You're going to take your chances here, and if you do get stopped, then they got 99 yards to go. It's really a good position to be in for Hartford. Hopefully they punch this in and feel good about the drive.
Yeah, taking almost 6 minutes off the clock here. This time Jasmine only has 1 man, and he keeps it himself. It looks like he crosses, and he does. Both referees signal touchdown. So Cole Jasmine with the 1-yard touchdown sneak to open the scoring.
Definitely a good drive by Hartford. You know, you look at the plays that get down there on the goal line inside the 10, goal line defense, a lot of man-to-man, filling gaps. Everybody's packing the box. It gets a little tougher. Throwing toss out there on the edge, missile or rocket, some people call it. You get out there. It's designed to get the ball out on the edge quickly and outflank the opponent, but, short, running the hash mark into the boundary, it can be a little bit of a challenge, especially in a short field.
So they do convert, takes them 4 tries, but they punch it in, and the extra point is added to make it 7-0. So a nice drive for the Hurricanes to open the game. They lead 7-0 with 6:09 to play in the first quarter. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner here. 6:09 to play, just about halfway through that first quarter. And Ben, we talked about it, that whole drive, all they're doing is handing the ball off. It worked. Great job by the Hurricanes on their first drive.
Yeah, definitely. They executed very well.
So the short squib kick takes one off and is picked up at the 25-yard line. And then running across the field and being dragged down is the ball carrier. And that's Bassarou. And he is tackled. Looks like they'll spot it maybe at the 34-yard line. Trying to see where the refs will put the ball down. 34-35. And we'll see just about the 34-yard line. We'll see what the Sea-Wolves do halfway through quarter number 1. 7-0 our score. Diawara Bassarou is the quarterback. He's in the shotgun. Man goes in motion, and he's got a couple running backs now in the backfield with him. And there's going to be a penalty flag. That play won't count. We'll blow the whistle and discuss this penalty. False start on the Sea-Wolves. That'll bring them back 5 yards before they even get it going. They'll have 1st and 15. This game is being brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. Top Stitch works with businesses and schools marketing with custom t-shirts and embroidery for more than 20 years. 1st down and 15 now. And they do that again, and we saw this, Ben. You were obviously watching the game, and we were up here doing the broadcast. And we see this. Hartford shifts their defensive line. They're not trying to jump the guys off sides or false start, but they do.
They do. So, moving your interior lineman, defensive lineman before the snap of the football, gone back and forth with years of whether you can call the snap out or any of those things, is simulating the snap. So now the guys are moving on their own. Take a lot of practice to do that. But as they do that, it confuses the line blocking scheme, especially with zone blocking. Really makes the guys think right before the snap when they know where they're going, and then especially at the high school level.
Yeah, we saw that a lot last time, and as we see the ball carrier not able to gain much. Right, it's not that they're trying to jump the snap and cause the offensive line to false start. They're just moving, whether that's ultimately probably their goal.
Yeah, sometimes it's a byproduct, and you always like it when you back the team up 5 yards too, but then it's,
right.
When you move over a gap, it changes the blocking scheme, and then right before the snap. So it takes discipline for the offensive linemen to go through their steps, and they're not blocking men necessarily, but they're going through their steps and taking what shows.
So 2nd down and 20, and a penalty there, but this play will continue, so not a false start. Maybe a holding penalty or something as the running back cuts to the outside and might get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a legal shift, I believe, or legal motion on the Sea-Wolves, so they've had a little bit of a struggle to start this first quarter.
Yeah, penalties can be a breaker in the first series. It's definitely tough. You look at it, though, positive there. I'm looking out there and watching the Sea-Wolves run. they got some speed on the edge, and so hopefully Hartford guys are taking a look at that.
Yeah, after they were able to get the play off, that was really the first play that they were able to get to the edge, but it'll back them up. And I believe that's going to be at the 20-yard line. And they need to get to the 44. So 2nd down and 24 for the Sea-Wolves. 5:13 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 our score. Hurricanes with an opening drive. Touchdown, 4th down and goal. Cole Jasmine snuck it in, and this one is pitched and running to the left side and tripped up in the backfield. Nice tackle there. Not sure who the ball carrier was on that, but a nice tackle by the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's be an interesting play call coming up here for the Sea-Wolves here. You got 3rd and forever.
Right.
Are they, get the ball in the middle of the field, get some yardage to punt? I have a hard time thinking it's 4-down territory for them here. So it's really game management at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's probably what, a draw play or something? Just
yeah,
you don't want
screen, draw play, funnel screen.
Something so you don't turn the ball over and you don't go backwards. And looks like the quarterback's going to keep that, Basaru, and he gets to the outside, gains a couple of yards, and sets him up basically to punt it away.
Yeah, definitely be expecting a punt here.
Watch our Yankee Chronicle every week on this station at 8 p.m. on Saturdays. If you missed any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch the shows and games anytime on our website at ycnnow.com. Clock moving here. 4 minutes just about to go in quarter number 1. High snap, but it's pulled down, and low kick. Takes a bounce at the 50 and kind of goes back and forth, and that's where the Hurricanes will take over at midfield, leading 7-0, 3:51 to play. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Hartford Hurricanes leading 7-0 here, and that ball is on the ground. And it looks like the Sea-Wolves may have gotten it. A lot of white jerseys around there. And it will be Sea-Wolves football as the ball carrier really had gotten to the 2nd level. Looked like he was going to be maybe tackled, but I don't know if the ball was punched out or if he just dropped it. But, man, that's a tough turnover for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, he broke. There's a huge hole coming through. There's a counter play coming through, trapped, came through. Got past the 2nd level linebackers. Free safety wrapped him up, and I think the other safety came in and popped the ball out there. So ball security is going to be key here. I mean, for Hartford, you got to think you got the momentum. You can maintain the football. Turnovers can be a killer.
Well, after you had stopped them basically 3 and out with a couple penalties and really shut the running game down, you get the ball at midfield and then turn it over. So we'll see what the Sea-Wolves do there. The pitch to the outside, and then he kind of tries to cut it back in, and I'm going to have to try and find out who that ball carrier is. Number 5, he's not listed on the roster, so I'll be able to find that out at some point here, but no gain. It looks like that's going to be 2nd down and 10. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local game, event, parade, or concert televised into YCN's over 300,000 households, contact us at info@ycnnow.com. This time able to get some positive yardage. Luis there on the carry up the middle. The captain running back was a senior. And clock moving here inside. 3 minutes to play. Sea-Wolves' 2nd possession after punting on their 1st, and this time quarterback Basaru will keep it himself, and he gets to the 45-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and short. Or excuse me, 4th down. So now it's decision time.
Yeah, the Sea-Wolves predominantly looks like they should probably punt here. Looks like they're going to. Interesting, the Sea-Wolves are spreading the ball out pretty much, running the football but spreading it out. They haven't really thrown the ball yet, but they're in a spread formation, 2x2, 1 back, shotgun, running the football.
So now kind of a flip of field position after the fumble. Even though they go 3 and out, they're able to punt it from basically their own 40. Another low liner that is going to be down maybe the 21-yard line, and it's going to be Hurricane football. We'll keep it right here, 1:49 to play. So the Hurricanes, big successful drive on their first drive. Really moved the ball nicely down the field and then punched it in from 4th and goal from the 1. It was Cole Jasmine with a 1-yard touchdown run. And then on their second drive, the first play from scrimmage, fumbling the ball after really breaking a nice gain into the secondary and fumbling it right away to the Sea-Wolves. They got it back, and then right there, 3 and out. So here we go. Third possession for the Hurricanes. One guy split out way wide. And again, the handoff up the middle. So trying something different on that formation as they had Brandon Potter spread out wide left. More maybe like a decoy. They weren't really ever going to throw it to him.
Yeah, widen the field, see what they're going to do. Are they going to put, to go 2 for 1? Are they going to go man-to-man out there with the single receiver? Are they going to, cover 2? Bring 2 guys out to cover 1? Taking a look at it, looks like.
So a couple yards on the first down run. They'll bring up 2nd down and 8 as we approach a minute to play in a fast-moving first quarter. And that handoff, the fake pitch, and then the handoff up the middle. We have yet to see pass play from the Hurricanes as they've kept it on the ground. And even on the turnover, the fumble, they had a successful run. So they've had a lot of success. So we'll bring up 3rd and short here inside a minute. No reason I would think that they would deviate here. Keep it on the ground, 3rd and 2.
Keep it on the ground, yep. That's Hartford football. Wing T, run the football.
They did start passing a little bit last time we were here, being down big to Middlebury and trying to claw back in the game. But you're right, most of the time they will run it. And that handoff up the middle looked like he got the first down before he was pushed back. And they are going to say Bean gets the first down, so they'll stop the clock to reset the first down marker and then start it back up. They don't have to run a play. 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to let the quarter run out.
The YCN scoreboard sponsors LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Our next YCN game is the Marauders of Hanover hosting the Red Raiders of Belmont Guilford. So that is going to do it for quarter number 1. The Hurricanes with the early touchdown, and that's all the scoring so far. Hartford leads South Burlington 7-0 after 1. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters 2-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor, where Bubba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. And Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. LaValle Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community.
Welcome back. Second quarter of action, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner here, White River Junction, Vermont. Hartford Hurricanes lead the South Burlington Sea-Wolves 7-0 as we start the second quarter, and the big pitch and the nice long gain there. Cole Shambo, as he's able to absorb a big hit, and he gets the first down at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Cole did a nice job running the ladder there. Gets the ball outside, sticks his foot in the ground, gets north and south, gets inside his blockers, follows them well. It was a good run.
Sometimes you see that they kind of start going laterally, and they're not getting up the field, and never works out well. So a good run there to start the second quarter. Some confusion with the clock, but it's moving now. 1st and 10 from the 46. Jasmine under center again, as he has been all game, and that handoff to Burek.
So he's going to get a gain of about 4 there out of it, running right at Brett Bowman, and they triple teamed him there, and he still almost broke through to get to that ball carrier there. So he's a force to contend with on the defensive line.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We will choose the team member that had the greatest impact on today's game. Pitch to the outside. This time they're going left as Shambo bounces out, and he's got the first down and a couple more yards before he's tackled and pulled out of bounds. But a nice first down run. A nice move there. He didn't have the hole. He bounced it to the outside.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of that. Get north and south. You come up into your defender, bounce it outside, get north and south. We call it running the ladder. He's doing a great job at it tonight.
So we've seen Shambo, Burek, Shea Bean, multiple ball carriers, and of course Jasmine. He can run. Now, will he run the ball if he's got an opening, or is he kind of just going to sneak it?
Yeah, so they do run the zone read with him a little bit. He'll keep it once in a while. He's not the fastest quarterback in the game, obviously, but when it's there, you take what they're giving you. You know what I mean? Keep everybody honest.
That's what this Hartford team can do. Just keep the ball on the ground. And he's going to drop back and throw it to a wide open receiver, and that's Burek. And he makes one defender miss, and then he's finally dragged out, but not before a big gain. And we saw Cole Jasmine there with a beautiful pass. Nice first down play.
Yeah, good play call from Matt Chalmey there. You throw the ball a little bit. You're having success running the ball on the ground. They start packing the box a little tighter, loosen them up again, throw the ball a little bit. Earlier in the game, I thought, Cole's going to have to complete a couple passes tonight just to keep him honest.
Yeah, we do see that a lot at the high school level where there's just a lot of guys running the ball, and you start to get those boxes a little bit stacked and the safeties start creeping up, and got to do something, as they did there. Nicely done. And then the fake pitch and then the handoff up the middle. Burek, big gain, close to another first down.
Yeah, again, Hartford O-line, we got a young offensive line. I think we got a couple freshmen starting on the offensive line today, or young guys anyway, but, nice trap there. Get the ball north and south. The kids are executing. That's nice.
And it looks like they haven't marked a 2nd down, haven't moved the chains yet. The ball is almost at the 10-yard line. It literally must be about a foot, but they didn't choose to measure. So 2nd down and short. Almost into the hole, but then he's brought back, but looks like it should be a first down, and it is signaled as a first down. So first down and goal from the 10-yard line for the Hurricanes. For over 11 years, Bubba's Bar and Grill has been providing hungry patrons with high-quality food and friendly service with a mission of delivering a remarkable experience to every visitor. Bubba's reminds you, we're having a lot of fun. First and goal from the 9. Hurricanes leading 7-0. It's been all on the ground, except for one throw by Jasmine to Burek. And Jasmine's going to throw it again. He has a man in the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Hurricanes. Kyle Hamilton, the senior, with the touchdown catch. And it's 13-0 Hurricanes.
Yeah, great execution there. Good eyes by Cole, coming out of the pocket, looking back to the end zone, stepped up through the football. So 2 for 2 tonight. That's pretty good. You should be happy about that.
Yeah, good start for Jasmine. That was his second pass and his second touchdown. He ran in the first one. He passed there, and Hamilton on the receiving end of that 9-yard. Nice little lob floater into the back of the end zone, and the extra point is up and good. So the Hurricanes double the lead. They now lead it 14-0. 8:48 to play in the second quarter. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Hurricanes have just scored to go extend their lead to 14-0. So pass from Jasmine to Hamilton, and the kickoff here, a low liner, takes a couple of bounces and will be returned from inside the 20-yard line. Makes a couple defenders miss, and a nice return there from the Sea-Wolves. Bassarou, and that's where the Sea-Wolves will take over
Yeah, Bassers looks like he got some wheels, so these guys got when they get contact on him, they got to grab some cloth and wrap up and wait for their buddies to come. But he slips a couple more of those tackles, he's off to the races.
So see if he can get something going. He hasn't had a lot of success so far. They'll start it at the 35-yard line. 8:41 to play in quarter number one. They trail 14-0. Only a couple of punts so far. Hand off up the middle and really no gain. Maybe a few yards. They'll spot him forward. Maybe 3 yards. So they'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Great read by Ryan Reed. No pun intended there, but new to playing Frank linebacker, backside linebacker, and it looks like maybe he's even playing. Yeah, he's playing Frank, weak side linebacker. The two interior guys made a nice read on that offensive line. Came right up and stepped up to his gap hard. It was nice.
So good defensive play, limiting to about 2, maybe 3 yards, and we are going to have a timeout on the field. South Burlington Sea-Wolves take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 8:04 to play in the second quarter. Hurricanes lead at 14-0. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. 8:04 to play in the second quarter. Out of the timeout, Sea-Wolves trying to dial something up to start moving the chains. They've had a couple of punts so far in the early going, giving up a couple of touchdowns. Couple of men in motion. Bassarou is going to keep it himself, and he's going to easily get the first down. A big hole there, and then gets through the secondary up to the 50-yard line, and a big first down for the Sea-Wolves. As you mentioned, he's got the wheels. He hit the hole.
The more I see him run, the more he gets a little bit of space, he's gone. He is fast, and he is shifty.
So you wonder if maybe Hartford, they maybe put I mean, he's not running a ton, but maybe guys spying on him or something.
Yeah, the quarterback's the X factor. You go 11 for 11, and when you get a quarterback running the football, he's the X factor. It's hard to go. Then you're literally 1 for 1 everywhere you go.
As the snap is mishandled, but he's able to pick it up, and broken play, he's able to gain 4 yards. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramontos and Claremont. Always fresh, always delicious. In addition to airing on our 3 TV stations, all YCN games are posted at ycnnow.com. So now we see the Sea-Wolves getting a little bit of traction, moving the chains, and 2nd down and 6. And in motion, and Bassarou is going to throw it deep. Got a man in one-on-one coverage and just overthrown. The receiver looking for a flag, but that was pretty cleanly defended and a nice play all around.
Yeah, it's really great coverage by Alex Bushway there. I mean, the secondary of Hartford has struggled here and there. They're not tall. And the receivers come out, they've got to be in great position. He was over the top of that, right where he should be. Went up and made the play, competed for the football.
Sears, the senior receiver, couldn't come up with that one. Just a little overthrown, but now with a 3rd and 6 across midfield, you wonder if maybe it starts to be 4-down territory. If you can pick up a half of it and maybe make it 4th and short. I'd like to get it all here, though. 3 wide receivers. Bassarou is going to keep it as a flag on the field, and the first down to the outside, and he's going to be down the sidelines. 1 man to beat. He's pushed out of bounds, but they're going to say touchdown. He was in. Looked like maybe his foot stepped out, but he crossed the pylon, crossed the goal line. Touchdown, Sea-Wolves. With a flag down here at the 47-yard line.
This one might be coming back for holding. We'll see.
Thrown pretty quickly after the play started, and it was right in the side that the quarterback was running, so it makes sense that would be the call. And all the players coming back, it will be that one comes back. He made the motion as a false start, but usually
penalty there?
Yeah, right. It must be some sort of procedure, because usually on a false start, you're not running the whole play. But either way, it's against South Burlington, and 5 yards, wipes out a big run. But as you said, he is
in
fast.
Space and he's gone. He just needs a little bit of room. They got to keep containing him.
That changes the game plan a little bit here. If you're the Sea-Wolves, 3rd down and 11. Fakes the handoff. He's going to go deep again, but this time it's picked off, but then just dropped. Looked like he had it. Good defensive play there from number 34, Jacob Winnow. But dropped it, but a great pass breakup nonetheless.
Yeah, did a great job reading the quarterback there. He broke on that route before that ball was even in the air. It was a really good read. So Hartford secondary is really improving their play. It's nice to watch.
Looked like he was going to go deep and then kind of had that underneath man. Just jumped perfectly by the defender, as you mentioned, and it'll be 4th and 11. And the fact that you're on your own 49, you got 11 yards to go, you got to punt it away, and a high punt there. Fair catch called for, and it will be Hartford football. We'll keep it right here. 6:25 to play. 14-0 Hurricanes on the lead. They have opened with a nice touchdown drive, and Cole Jasmine with a QB sneak on the 1-yard touchdown run, and then they did it again. This one on a pass, a nice 9-yard touchdown pass from Jasmine to senior Kyle Hamilton. First down run here, and up the middle, cutting it back in the middle of the field. And the big run is Zachary Burek. A nice first down run for the Hurricanes.
And again, Hartford going around pulling a triple team on Brett. What's his last name? Bowman. Big kid, big, strong, triple teaming him right now.
And now, if you are the Sea-Wolves, I mean, what kind of adjustments can you do to that? I mean, obviously, if you're going to get triple teamed, there's got to be somebody who's kind of free, or is it just nicely schemed by the Hurricanes?
I think it's a little both. So you're looking at playing a little bit of high. They're playing a little bit high. South Burlington's playing a little bit high on the defensive line, which means that these young kids are getting up underneath you and moving you off the line of scrimmage. So I would look at that and I would keep going at them, but they've got to play low and fire out on the snap of the football.
And we got a penalty flag there. That's going to be against the Hurricanes. Legal shift, legal motion.
Hurricanes will have a 1st and 15 from their 29
Now come back
yard
5 yards. First down and 15. Halfway through quarter number 2. Hurricanes lead it 14-0. So we'll see if they change it up. Only the 2 passes so far. Jasmine with a couple of nice completions. One to Burek, and then the touchdown pass to Kyle Hamilton. All the rest have been on the ground. Now backed up to 1st and 15. Their own 29. Will they air it out here? Pitch to the outside first from Shambo. Can't quite get to the edge and bring up 2nd down and long.
So there's Kyle Hamilton there to get the ball on the edge. Kyle Hamilton is out there trying to block Bowman one-on-one. Bowman gets off the block, goes and makes a tackle. Hartford, I think, needs to stick the double team on him.
Right, because they've clearly had some luck, and you would think with him being on the inside, you wouldn't be able to run to the inside, but they've had a lot of success, and then you throw it out to the outside, you think maybe you get some space, and like you said, not quite what happened. So 2nd down and 13. This handoff inside and wide open into space. It's a foot race now. 3 defenders chasing the ball carrier, and he will be tripped up maybe at the 1-yard line. Shambo, what a nice play there. Hit the hole, and he was gone.
65-yard gain for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, great run by Shambo. He's having a good night tonight. He's running the ball really, really well. He's reading his blockers very well. He's being patient with the football. He's being patient coming through the line of scrimmage.
That really helped there, the patience. Waiting for his blocks, looking at the 2nd level, and he's able to bust a big one before he's tripped up at the 1-yard line. So they'll have 4 tries to punch this one in from 1 yard out. .4:15 to play in quarter number 2. Jasmine under center. The handoff and the touchdown is Shea Bean. The 1-yard touchdown run, and that puts the Hurricanes up 20-0. Extra point coming up.
And Shea can go over there and thank Cole for getting tackled on the 1-yard line to get that nice punch in right there.
Nice run there to set that up, as you mentioned, the big 60-plus yarder. So a 1-yard touchdown run. And the extra point is up and good. 21-0 our score, 4:07 to play here. It's all Hurricanes. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner here. 4:07 to play before halftime, and Ben, it's all Hurricanes right now. This just moving the ball nicely on the ground.
Yep. Cole's completed a couple passes tonight, 2 for 2, I think is his stat right now, and he's been protected well, so it helped open up that running game.
Hurricanes with a little short kick. It'll bounce just inside the 30 and then picked up at the 25-yard line. And the return will cross the 30-yard line. That's where the Sea-Wolves will take over. A little extracurricular blocking or something away from the play. But it was legal, no penalty.
Legal hit, let's let him alone. He's downfield. You never know where the running back's going to come out, but he's a force to be reckoned with.
So that'll be first down at the 31-yard line. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. Our YCN game next week features the Marauders of Hanover hosting the Red Raiders of Belmont Guilford. Always premiering Sundays at noon. Snap is loose and corralled. I think there might have been some miscommunication. Maybe they thought there was a penalty called or something. The Sea-Wolves weren't really sure what was going on, and the ball was just sitting there. Jumped on Aloise, and luckily they get it back, but now it's second down and long.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, you take the penalties away, dropping the ball on the ground, every year that goes on, the Sea-Wolves are playing better and better, but they got to keep these penalties and mistakes out of their game.
Got to get to the 41-yard line for a first down, and that just gets a little basic handoff. Gains a couple yards. But it's going to be third and long, and now you're in danger of giving the ball back to the Hurricanes with, a good portion of the clock left before the halftime, and you're already down 3 scores. So it'd be great to pick up a first down if you're the Sea-Wolves here, but third and very long. Not sure they're going to get that done. Going deep, has a man, and he catches it at the 40-yard line. And that's Javin Sears, the same guy who almost caught one before that. And a big play for a first down.
And Sears with a great adjustment there. Over the shoulder coming down. He tracked it the whole way. Over the shoulder, never turned around to catch it. Stayed in bounds. Great catch. Good focus.
Vassaru with a nice throw as well to convert on third down. So inside 3 minutes. Now it looks like South Burlington may have some life. Flipping the field nicely there. In motion again, and this time Vassaru will keep it himself. And he falls forward. 4-yard pickup there.
Yeah, Jeremy, right. The clock management in this situation is going to be interesting. 2:30-ish left to go. 2nd and 6. In Hurricane territory now. Be interesting to see how the Sea-Wolves play this.
And at this point, it's got to be 4 downs, and you're going for it no matter where you are because you did cross that midfield.
And you're down 21-0.
Right. Vassaru again, he's going to keep it. Almost had a hole, but it was closed nicely. 3 Hurricane defenders, and really closes that hole. It's now going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Jeremy, right, you're thinking here, you're going to go, it's 4 down territory, so you got 2 plays to get 4 yards, get that first down, and see what happens.
Inside 2 minutes to play, and you can take your time because you've got 2 plays. If you don't get the first down, you don't want to give the Hurricanes much time, and even if you do get the first down, you've got some timeouts left. And fumbled the snap almost, but then he did corral it and pitched it to the running back in motion and breaking free, and the touchdown, number 32, Kai Schmidt. 30-yard run for the touchdown. I think that caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah, pretty athletic play by Vassaru there. He dropped the snap, it looked like, on the ground, kind of flipped it up from off the ground to his back coming across in the speed sweep. It was nice.
A 30-yard touchdown run by Schmidt.
On to kick the Sea-Wolves, number 40, Corey III.
So that gets them on the board, 21-6, and the extra point coming up here. Ball down, and it is blocked. Almost grabbed by a defender, but he's not able to get it. So 21-6. With $1:32 to play. We'll keep it right here. Coming up at halftime, we'll break down the first half, have the halftime highlights. And that's a big score if you're the Sea-Wolves, because you were facing third and a mile, and then the nice pass to Sears, and then the big 30-yard touchdown run by Schmidt. Now, Ben, if you're the Hurricanes, $1:32 to go, you got some timeouts. You try and maybe see where your field position is after the kickoff?
Yeah, I think so. I think you look and see where you get the ball. If you get the ball anywhere out, outside the 30-yard line on the kickoff, you might look at making a run here. Anything inside that, you're really looking at managing the clock. You don't want to turn it over here. You've got the lead by 2 scores. You're going into halftime. You are kicking off, I believe.
Yes.
To the Sea-Wolves. They're going to get the ball in the second half. So it's really about it. It's his field position. We'll find out after this return.
Yeah, it's a big touchdown, obviously, not only to cut the deficit down to 2 scores for the Sea-Wolves, but because you get a chance to, you're going to get the ball in the second half. So now this becomes huge if you are Burlington, South Burlington, to make sure you don't give up a score here going into the locker room.
Yeah, it's a definite must stop. You do not want to give up points here.
And the ball carrier, the returner, kind of slips, and he's down there. It's the high school rules. Once you're down, you don't need to be touched, and that's going to be first down for the Hurricanes deep inside their own territory.
So as we talked about before, this is the interesting part of the game, right? So you got a minute 27 to go. You got some timeouts on the board. They've got some timeouts on the board. You don't want to give the ball back to Burlington here, because they are getting the ball back in the second half. You're coming out. This is probably keep the ball on the ground here. And
you got to be careful. You also don't want to punt, because you never know what can happen if you end up having to punt it away. So see what Coach Trombley comes up with on this one. First and 10 from the 13.
And the way Hartford's been moving the ball, too, you keep it on the ground, you snap something, then you might have something to work with.
And they will give it off to the running back, who's immediately tackled by a trio of defenders at the 15-yard line. Couple-yard gain there. Second down and about 8. Clock moving. Approaching 1 minute of play in this second quarter, and quarterback Cole Jasmine over at the sideline taking a lot of time. Like I said, probably going to try and keep it on the ground. If they break something, great. If not,
right,
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, Coach Chalmers in no hurry right now. He'll eat this clock up going to halftime.
Play clock down to 10 seconds as they approach the line. Once again, kind of that bunch formation. No wide receivers, and the pitch to the left side. Nowhere to go. Shambo is stopped. Now he'll bring up third down.
Again, there's Bowman again.
Loss of 2. Hurricanes will have a
and you got to wonder if
39.
Sea-Wolves would take a timeout here, and at least to maybe get a stop and then force a punt, but it looks like both teams are content to let this clock run down, because only got about 10 seconds of game clock left. Play clock's at 22 seconds. So that is going to do it. Both teams are content to let the clock run down. And the Hurricanes strike early, get out to a 21-0 lead before the Sea-Wolves answer with a touchdown, 21-6 at the half. We'll take a break and come back with some first half analysis and some halftime highlights. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back. Halftime here in White River Junction, where the Hartford Hurricanes lead the South Burlington Sea-Wolves 21-6. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner, and Ben, that first half, it was all Hurricanes at first, but a late score there by the Sea-Wolves. They get the kickoff at the start of the second half. Kind of gave them some life.
Yeah, it seems like the first half they struggled with penalties early on, dropping the ball on the ground, not moving the football. Punt, and now it looks like they're moving the football a bit. If they get some seams in there, obviously we can see these running backs are fast. They maybe have a little more speed than the Hartford secondary players have, so if they get in open space, then we can see what happened right before the half.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we saw Basaru, the quarterback. He's got some legs. You pointed that out. He can move. He gets into space. And obviously the running back with a nice run. And Cole Jasmine, he's had a couple nice passes. We were talking earlier. They keep it on the ground, but they've made the most of their 2 passes. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, I think it's great for the young offensive line, giving him some time for some protection. He throws a decent ball. You give him some time. He's not the most mobile quarterback out there, but if he gets some time, he can hit his target. So I really thought at the beginning of this game, run the ball between the tackles as much as possible. Going to have to throw it a couple times just to loosen them up so they don't pack everybody in the box and make it immobile. So Hartford game plan seems to be effective. You got to contain that South Burlington. They have explosive plays at potential at any given time.
So if you're looking at it from the South Burlington side, I mean, what's the keys to that second half? Just obviously eliminating mistakes, and you'd probably be right in this thing.
I think, yeah, for the Sea-Wolves, they really need to eliminate the mistakes. It's the penalties, it's dropping the ball on the ground. If they can do that, they're doing well. The Brett Bowman on that side of the football, like we tried to go man for man and block him a couple times to the Hartford side, and Kyle's one of our better blockers on that side, and man for man, those are 2 big boys going at it. He's a tough guy to block. They've been double teaming and triple teaming him just to be able to move the ball on that side when he's there. He's definitely an impact player in this game.
And for the Hurricanes, more of the same. Keep it on the ground. It's been working. Why go away from that?
Keep it on the ground.
So it's going to be an exciting second half, but first we'll take a break and come back with some first half highlights of the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back. Halftime here. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. And those are the highlights of the first half. 21-6, Hartford leading Burlington. South Burlington will take another break and come back with the second half on the YCN Game of the Week.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters 2-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor, where Bubba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. And Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community.
Welcome back. Second half about to begin. Hartford Hurricanes leading 21-6, and they will be kicking off, as we talked about. The Sea-Wolves can get the double score as they score with 1:32 to play in the first half. The 30-yard touchdown run by Schmidt. And see if they can do something here after they kind of settled down a little bit. They were able to move the ball nicely. See if they can continue that or what kind of adjustments were made in the locker room from both sides. Again, a little pooch kick there, lands at the 30, and it will be returned, but not by much. He's tackled at the 30, so Sears picks it up at the 30, runs sideways, and he's tackled, and that's where the Sea-Wolves will take over.
Yeah, nice breakdown tackle by Colin Valo in space there. Nice move.
Nice special teams, and that seems to be Hartford's move, is to try and find some space and land it in there, and that's what they've done. First down now, Sea-Wolves at their own 30. Wide receiver split out wide right, another one near side left. Bassaru gives the handoff to Aloise, and he is tackled for a 3-yard gain, keeping it on the ground to start this second half.
Yeah, Burlington Sea-Wolves are still spreading the field out, getting the receivers outside, spreading the field to run the football. What's interesting is a few times that they have thrown the ball, they packed it in out of bunch sets and spread it out at the snap.
They've had a couple nice throws, one obviously being the deep throw to Sears that was caught and then sets up the big 30-yard touchdown run. So second down and 7. 3 wides. And Bassaru in the shotgun where he's been almost all tonight. Scrambling now, nice pressure by the Hurricanes and jumping over the defender, but he's met by another defender, and then a penalty flag is thrown right at the end of the play, right in front of the Hurricane bench. So the ball carrier jumped over the defender. He was met by another defender and then tackled out of bounds, but flag right here in front of us. Not sure what the call was.
Yeah, all these high school kids love watching the NFL, hurdling all the defensive backs and that sort of thing, and not legal in high school.
So that's the call. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, illegal from the hurdling, so that's an illegal, unsportsmanlike. But either way, it's a big loss, 15 yards. And they've got to get all the way up to the 40-yard line. Ball spotted inside their own 20, so a long second down, 20-plus yards to go. A couple motion players, and the handoff up the middle, wrapped up nicely at the line of scrimmage by the Hurricanes, and really going nowhere, maybe a yard or two, and that'll bring up a long third down.
The Hartford linebackers are doing a very good job reading the surface, looking for pulling hats, stepping up to their gaps when it's cloudy clear, and not going with all the motion in the backfield and trying to find the football and chase the football. So it's good discipline.
Yeah, we saw a couple guys in motion there, and then they give it to the running back and immediately hit at the line of scrimmage. The ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Third down and 21. Big third down here for the Hurricanes. Get them off the field, and that's going to be a penalty flag. They'll let the play continue, but it is going to be against the Sea-Wolves. Ball is out on the far side, but I believe it went out of bounds, so it's going to stay South Burlington football. But I believe some sort of illegal motion or shift there on the play from the Sea-Wolves. See what the call is, and it is against the Sea-Wolves, and the result of the play was not much of a gain, so it's going to be declined, and it'll be fourth down and long, and obviously punting situation coming up here.
Yeah, again, it seems like more of the first half, right? More penalties, backing them up, fourth and 21, third and 25. These yardages are really difficult to come back from.
Yeah, that's what happened on their first drive, you're right, of the game, where they had the 2 false start penalties, and then I think they had a holding penalty. It was something, they were pinned back pretty deep, just like they are the first drive here of the second half, and they go 3 and out. Punt is away. A nice punt. This time takes a nice Sea-Wolves bounce and down at the 32-yard line, and that's where Hartford will take over. We'll keep it right here, 9:32 to play. And now if you're Hartford, we talked about it at halftime, you got to imagine they're just going to keep the ball, keep running the ball, and try and answer that last score and go back up by 3 scores.
If you have a winning ticket, please go to the concession stand.
This game is being brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. Top Stitch works with businesses and schools, marketing with custom t-shirts and embroidery for more than 20 years. First and 10. Cole Jasmine with the handoff and off to the right side. Zachary Burek, and he gains a handful of yards.
And Brett Bowman making the tackle as a backside DN coming across the line of scrimmage to make that tackle. He's all over the field.
If they run away from him, he's able to chase it down. If they run at him, he takes a triple team to get him. But give credit to the Hurricanes tonight. They've been able to figure it out for the most part. Second down here and 4. Handoff to the right side, and after a little bit of a pull on a jersey, looks like the ball carrier will be tackled, but not before he gets enough for the first down. And just like that, 2 running plays and another first down for the Hurricanes.
And you see there, so it looks like Bowman, their best defensive end, is lining up with Kyle Hamilton at tight end on the offensive side of the football for Hartford. And they like to run behind Kyle. He's a big, strong kid. Tight end's blocking down, getting the edge over there. So they traded him that time from the left side to the right side after alignment, after Bowman lines up on the other side. Strategic chess move by Matt Trombley.
Now, will they have any audibles at the line once they see where he's lined up, or are they basically kind of, this is what we're going to run, and they stay with it?
Yeah, here we are, trade again. Lined him up on the right, moved him to the left, so they're trading him away from him.
And the handoff goes off to the left side, but he's able to get another 10 yards, and looks like maybe another first down. Shambo on the carry, and see where they spot it. Maybe a half a yard short, but either way it'll be first down or second and short, less than a yard to go. I'll spot at the 48.
Yeah, so you bring up the audible at the line of scrimmage. So sometimes you can do multiple ways. You can put 2 plays in there. And, back in the day, we used to call it, you should go check green. And green was, we ran power. If we check blue, we check something else. So it changes week to week, but depending on situations like this where you're trying to run away from a key player on the opponent, see where they line up. You got one play that goes one way, one play that goes the other way.
And it looks like they're doing some more motion as Hamilton goes to the opposite side, but before that, well, the scoreboard has gone out, so stoppage in play. And we're back. Just a quick reset. So second down and 1 yard. They'll re-huddle up. So second down and 1. Jasmine under center. He's got a couple running backs behind him. A couple split out and one directly behind him. Another motion play. And the pitch to the right side, finding a nice hole, getting across the 40, almost to the 35. Shambo with another nice run and another first down for the Hurricanes.
Yep, there's more of the same from Shambo, running the ladder, getting up in when he's got the seams and bouncing it outside.
So a nice first down, or second down run there to get the first down. The YCN scoreboard sponsor is LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Our next YCN game is the Marauders of Hanover hosting the Red Raiders of Belmont Guilford. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll step aside. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner here on the call. 6:44 to play in the third quarter. Jasmine under center. Hurricanes moving the chains nicely in this second half. He's going to drop back and pass. He has a man open, backpedaling, and it is tipped away from the receiver at the last minute. But a nice pass, almost caught it, but he couldn't quite corral it.
Yeah, great play by Ben Leonard there in the secondary to go up through his hands and knock it away. But again, got to go back to Bowman on the line. He's not playing defensive line now. He's at middle linebacker right now. Came through clean, got a shot on Jasmine just after the throw. Again, all over the field.
And talked about it in the timeout, that they're switching things up. They're calling audibles, and it's almost like who's going to make the last switch before the ball is snapped. And then even if they do, where are they running the ball? They're running away from him. Maybe they'll run it towards him.
Right.
So it is that chess match on the field. This handoff off tackle and crossing the 35-yard line is Beam. Bring up third and about 7.
3-yard pickup for the Hurricanes.
Watch our Yankee Chronicle every week on this station at 8 p.m. on Saturdays. If you miss any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch the shows and games anytime on our website at ycnnow.com. We saw Cole Jasmine with a pass attempt, his first incompletion. And they go back to the ground and whistle here on the field. Maybe still some scoreboard questions. I'm not sure what the referee is doing over on this side. Scoreboard has been in and out. And they're going to kill the scoreboard, so we'll be keeping the time from the refs on the field. So we'll see what we got going on here. The clock's going to be killed.
Time will now be kept on the field by the officials.
There's a little confusion on the field, but they're looking to sort it out. Just talking to both coaches, making sure everybody's on the same page. We've got third down and about 7 coming up here. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local game, event, parade, or concert televised into YCN's over 300,000 households, contact us at info@ycnnow.com. And the pass on third down is just a little bit overthrown, and that'll bring out fourth down. Couldn't quite get it to Bushway, and now fourth down, Ben. You got to imagine probably go for it, right?
This is an interesting call here. Cole had a little bit of time there. I think he forced the throw a little quickly. Hartford still has the momentum. It's be interesting. It looks like they're going to go for it here. It's 4th and 6, 4th and 7 on the 35-yard line going in. I would imagine maybe possibly seeing the ball in the air here.
Well, we've got Jasmine in the shotgun formation. One running back to his left. He is going to throw it, but he is chased and immediately brought down. And that's what we were waiting for all night.
None other than Brett Bowman off the edge. So Hartford turns it over on downs.
So that'll be a turnover on downs, and the clock obviously not being kept on the scoreboard. Roughly about 5 minutes to play in this one, in the third quarter. And now, if you're the Sea-Wolves, a nice forcing the turnover on downs, and once again, you got the ball, you've got decent field position, you're at the 40. Gotta make something happen. Get back in this one.
Yeah, it's actually the one thing Hartford didn't want there was to take a sack, turnover on downs, give them better field position than they even had. And again, if these kids get loose in the backfield and break one, all of a sudden we get a football game here.
Yeah, it's only a 2-possession game, so obviously still well within reach. Plenty of time left. Just about 5 minutes here in the third quarter. And Bassler is going to keep it himself, cutting back across the field and then heading up the middle, maybe a 3-yard gain. So looked like it was some sort of option, and he kept it. So second down and about maybe 6 yards.
Yeah, it looks like the ends came off the field, didn't give him much room to get outside and had to come back inside. Takes the option away.
Second and 6, second and 7.
Watching film, too, it doesn't strike me as a kid who likes to pitch it a whole lot. He likes to keep it and take it when he can.
And as we've seen, he's got the speed to do it. If he gets to the outside, he's going to drop back and pass this time and overthrows everyone. Looks like Alex Bushway is the one who tips that one, and he is a little bit shaken up. He's up now, but got to imagine he's going to step aside for at least a play. It looks like he's making his way to the sidelines under his own power. Shaken up there, but Third down.
Came down right on his glute or lower back there. Looks like he's okay. He'll shake that off, I think.
So 3rd down and 7. They have to get to the 50-yard line. The nose of the football is just shy of the 44. See what type of play they come up with here.
They're stacked receivers here.
And again, the man in motion is Schmidt. Dropping back is Bassrow. He's going to uncork one. He's got a man. I think that's Sears. And it is complete. Dragged out of bounds. Just about the 35-yard line. And another 1st down for the Sea-Wolves. A big gain. And we've seen that play multiple times. When they do air it out, they go to Sears. He's the big receiver, and he can get that position.
That scoring drive right before the half started with a big play to Sears to get the ball rolling, and looks like they're headed that way again.
Yeah, it was right about that same area because he came down, and then the next play was the 30-yard touchdown run from Schmidt. Here they are at the 36-yard line. And a little bit of a motion there, the false start. That's what we saw at the beginning of the game with Hartford shifting their alignment, and that false start penalty, 5 yards back, and they'll bring up 1st and 15.
Yeah, just enough to make them lose that little bit of focus.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the HR Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We will choose the team member that had the greatest impact on today's game. 1st down and 15 from the 40-yard line. Maybe the 41. And Bassarou's going to go nowhere as the defender is in the backfield before anything could be done. And the big sack there, number 34, Jacob Dwinell.
Yep, and that's not even a blitz there. That's just him reading off the edge. When he blocks down, he's a free hitter. He comes and just gets up the field and makes that play.
So another negative play and bumps them back another few yards. It goes from a 2nd and 15 to from a 1st and 15, and now 2nd and 21. And the pitch there to Schmidt. He's going to cut across. Hits the hole nicely and able to get the sack yardage back. You're still going to be about 3rd and 15. Ball's at the 41. They have to get to about the 25, 26-yard line. So 3rd and long, but you got to imagine, maybe it's not 4-down territory with this many yards to go. If you get half of it back, maybe you do.
Yeah, it's hard knowing exactly how much time's on that clock, too.
That's true, and the pass is just overthrown. Overthrows one receiver and underthrows another. And so just out of reach and an incompletion.
Yeah, that looked like that was intended for number 5, who we don't have his name, but looks like it was intended for him, but the slide route came out underneath and went up and got a hand on it. It looked like it was meant to go over him.
So now it's 4th down and maybe some discussion on the sideline. Well, they've got the punt team out there, I believe, maybe not. They're going for it. They are going to go for it on 4th down and long. Bassarou in the shotgun. Nice block on the blind side. He throws it deep. He has a man, but it's tipped away in double coverage. Nice defense by Potter, breaking that one up, and it will be a turnover on downs. The Hurricanes will take over in the 3rd quarter, leading 21-6. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner here. 1:15 to play is the official clock of the 3rd quarter. Having some scoreboard issues, so they're keeping the time on the field, and the turnover on downs there goes back to the Hurricanes on 1st down run, a 5-yard pickup. And the ball spotted just at the 45-yard line. Second down and about 6. Have to get across the 50. Inside a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Nice play there from the Hurricanes, and off to the races into the corner, and stepping out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Shambo tackled at the 30, but he had already stepped out at the 40. And a first down for the Hurricanes. So, Ben, they're going to continue to run this ball, and after that first drive to start the second half, they've picked it up on this one.
Yeah, I think they're just finding momentum again, finding a rhythm. Wing T offense can't emphasize enough how much it is important to find a rhythm, moving the ball around, finding some pace of the game, having success, no penalties,
right,
that sort of thing. It's just find your groove.
And they seem to have done that coming up towards the end of the third quarter here, as again the handoff kind of goes off tackle, and another little run from Zachary Burek. It's going to be about maybe a 4-yard gain. Ball will be spotted just about at the 36-yard line. Well, just across the 36. Second down and 6. And the pitch to the outside. I haven't seen this too often. And bouncing it to the outside, he's done that. Every time he's had that opportunity, Cole Shambo has bounced it to the outside.
Yep, get up the field when you can, the first there, and as soon as it meets your face, bounce it out and keep working.
He's done that nicely. Another first down, and I got to imagine the clock will be winding down here to end the third quarter shortly.
Got to be getting close.
When the Hurricanes took over, there was about a minute 15 left, we were told, so obviously stop the clocks on first down and then start it up again. So first down just outside the red area. First and 10 from the 22. Jasmine under center again. He's got bunch formation there on the right side. They'll pitch it to the right side and eludes one tackler and then shakes another one and then is finally dragged down, but not before a nice gain. And they're going to call an 8-yard pickup. We got
an injury down.
Injury on the field. And wondering if we have much time left in the third quarter. So injury on the field. We'll step aside. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' 2-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor, where Bubba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. And Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner, as we are in the fourth quarter here in White River Junction, Vermont, where the Sea-Wolves of Burlington, South Burlington, trail the Hurricanes of Hartford 21-6. And the Hurricanes with the ball, second down and 2 at the 13-yard line. The handoff off to the right, and Burek has plenty for the first down, and it'll be first down and goal now for the Hurricanes. And here's what we talked about, just moving the chains, keeping the ball on the ground, and just like that, they might have a chance to open this one up to a 3-score game.
Yeah, and they're packing, Sea-Wolves are packing everybody in the box right now. There's 11 guys in the box. Now, granted, Hartford's going in a tight formation, but this is where Hartford struggled last time, inside the 5-yard line, punching the ball in. Took 4 downs to do it from inside the 5.
That's right, the first drive of the game took almost all of 6 minutes, and Cole Jasmine punched it in from 1 yard out on the QB sneak on 4th and goal. So if you're Coach Matt Trombley, you'd like to get a little sooner. See what they do here, and breaks free, kind of sheds a couple tacklers, and then Burek goes in for the 5-yard touchdown.
Yep, again, they were trading the tight end from the right to the left, getting away from Bowman.
Yeah, exactly. They've been doing that all game, and credit to them, they've figured it out. So Burek with the 5-yard scamper to go up 27-6. Extra point coming up here. Extra point is up and good, 28-6, as we have just started the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here. The Hurricanes open the scoring with a 1-yard touchdown run. We were just referencing that. Cole Jasmine on 4th and goal from the 1 to go up 7-0. And then the nice 9-yard touchdown pass from Jasmine to Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton, the senior tight end, to make it 14-0. And then the 1-yard touchdown run by Shea Bean, making it 21-0 before number 32, Kai Schmidt, answered for the Sea-Wolves. It was 21-6 going into halftime. A scoreless third quarter, and it's 28-6 now. And if you are the Sea-Wolves, got to start doing something. They've had some nice plays. They've made some nice completions. They've had some nice runs, but it goes back to turnovers, missed plays, and penalties.
Yep, those are killers, especially on the road, you know.
And we've seen it kind of been the same thing. The first drive of each half, penalties back them up, or a fumbled snap or something like that. So if you are the Sea-Wolves here, you're really going to get it going and answer that score. Still a 3-score game, and just started the fourth quarter. Backs up to about the 15, 14-yard line. That's where it'll be returned, and a couple of nice moves on the far side, making some tacklers miss, and the Sea-Wolves will start with the ball at their own 36, 37-yard line after a nice return.
Yeah, and that was Sears again on the return, who's caught a couple balls tonight. He's kind of the play. He's the drive starter for the Sea-Wolves tonight. So it gives them decent field position. We'll see what they can do with it.
They've been able to mix it up nicely. They've had some nice throws. There's definitely a good arm on Bassarou. He's able to run. So we'll see if he can get something going here. 2 wide receivers split out wide right. Running back to his left, and a penalty flag. That's going to be a false start, and once again, already a negative play.
Yep. Starting a drive behind the 8 ball yet one more time.
1st and 15.
Well, the Sea-Wolves really spreading the field right now. They're going really wide.
Yeah, they've got a couple guys wide here on the near side right in front of us, and then one receiver on the far side left. Bassarou has a running back to his left. Scrambling around, he has an open man, but he kind of leads him a little too far. Wouldn't have been much of a gain anyway if he came up with it. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, but either way, it's incomplete. 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, the official didn't blow the whistle there, but it looked like they actually had another false start that they kind of let go on the edge of it there.
Yep, that was a close one. I thought they were going to throw the flag, but they let them play, so 2nd down and 15. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramontos and Claremont. Always fresh, always delicious. In addition to airing on our 3 TV stations, all YCN games are posted at ycnnow.com. And the keeper here, Bassarou. And he's able to move the pile all the way almost up to the 45-yard line.
There's some pushing from behind by none other than Bowman.
Yeah, and he's a force on the defensive side, and obviously on the offensive side as well, as pointed out there. 48-yard line is where it'll be marked. They have to get to, the 43-yard line is where it's marked. They have to get to the 47. And Bassarou keeps it himself, bounces to the outside, but he's got a defender around his ankle, and then he's hit high by a couple more defenders, and that'll bring up 4th down now. And it's going to be Now you still got to get 5 yards. The ball spotted at the 42-yard line. We've got to get to the 47. So 4th down and 5. Big play here.
Yeah, going for it again on 4th down.
Big one here as you turn it over on downs. Hurricanes have a short field. Passing it out, nobody there except a Hurricane defender, and it's picked off along the far side. Making a couple tacklers miss, and then it is tackled across the field at the 30-yard line. Brandon Potter calling with the interception. 1st down, Hurricanes.
You know, Brandon Potter's only a sophomore. Last year, the first game he really played in was against St. Johnsbury home against St. Johnsbury home in the first rounds of the playoffs. Now, granted, Hartford lost 35-0, I believe, his final score. But that kid played in the game, the varsity game, for the first time as a freshman, and played really, really tough. He's a gamer.
So he comes up with the interception there. Really, the only man in the vicinity, just about at the 45-yard line or so of the Hurricanes, and then he returns it to the 30. So a nice 25-yard return, and that's where the Hurricanes take over now at their own 30, and they're really looking to end this one. They score here and go up 35-6. And that ball is loose, but bounces right back to the ball carrier. He picks it up, and he's able to gain some more yardage. Shambo with a fortunate bounce on that one.
I think that's really all I can say about that, right, Jeremy? It's just fortunate bounce.
Yeah, that looked like the pitch. Maybe, I don't know if the pitch was wide or he just kind of misplayed it, but a couple of hops and went right back into his hands and picks up 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. For over 11 years, Bubba's Bar and Grill has been providing hungry patrons with high-quality food and friendly service with a mission of delivering a remarkable experience to every visitor. Bubba's reminds you, we're having a lot of fun. Hurricanes up 28-6. Not sure what the clock situation is here in the 4th quarter. Some scoreboard malfunctions, so they're keeping the time on the field. And this handoff up the middle, maybe enough for a 1st down, is Kyle Hamilton.
Close to a Hurricane 1st down.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton, who usually plays tight end, is playing a little bit of fullback today. Burick's been banged up, so I think it's giving him a spell.
And in this type of game, there's really, you don't need to push it too much. I mean, I know it's not completely out of hand yet, but you've got control of this one.
Control, yep.
So it's 3rd down.
Keeping the ball on the ground eats that clock.
3rd and a credit cards width for the Hurricanes.
So 3rd and a couple inches. Handoff up the middle, and it looked like he had it before he was pushed back. We'll see.
Derek looks like he picked up a 1st down for the Hurricanes.
And they are going to say 1st down just at the 20-yard line. Just enough for a 1st down inside the 20, maybe to the 19. So 1st down and 10. Hurricanes leading 28-6. They're looking to even their record up at 3-3 if they can hold on here tonight for a tough road game next week at St. Johnsbury. And then back here, I believe, the following week, hosting Rutland, and we'll be back for that game, YCN. 1st down, and Jasmine's going to drop back and throw. He's got a man turning upfield, and a touchdown. Jasmine with another touchdown pass, 19 yards.
No, great read by Jasmine there. Threw it over the defenders, dropped it in the hole. Great catch, turn up the field and run. Textbook.
So a 19-yard touchdown. I'm not sure I caught who was the receiver. It was on the far side in the corner. Trying to get that for you, but it's a nice pass from...
Caught by Kobe Peach.
So a nice catch there by Peach. And 34-6. Extra point is up and good. A perfect 5 for 5 on extra points. We are in the 4th quarter here. The Hurricanes lead the Sea-Wolves 35-6. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. 7:21 to play In quarter number 4, the Hurricanes have just added another score to go up 35-6. After a scoreless third quarter by both teams, Hurricanes have put 2 scores on the board here in the fourth quarter. Little squib kick, and it bounces all the way back to the 10-yard line, where it will be returned. And not able to get much is Bassaru. Maybe past the 20. Not sure where they'll spot this one. But the Hurricanes now with a big lead, 35-6. Got Cole Jasmine with 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. He'll be in the running for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat player of the game. Bassaru throws it, and it hits a defender and then falls into the lineman's hands. And he's able to corral it and pick up a 6-yard gain.
There's a couple funny bounces tonight. Kyle Hamilton bats that ball down, drops it right in the tackle's lap, and off he goes.
And for the tackle to have the hands like that, maybe he should be playing tight end or something. He was just kind of taken by surprise, and he was able to corral it. 5-yard gain.
It's one of those plays. Great awareness on both sides there.
So 2nd down and 5. Clock moving here, being kept on the field. They started this drive, 7:21. The handoff is dropped, or the exchange is dropped, and then Bassaru keeps it himself, and he's able to get a first down. So a nice awareness, and we've seen that multiple times on this team. Some of the times they've had some tough plays, but they've had some awareness and turned a negative play into a positive.
Yeah.
So see if they can keep it going. Really need to get a score here. The only touchdown was the 30-yard run from Kai Schmidt, senior running back.
And again, the Sea-Wolves, now they're going to the bunch set. Again, tight sets.
And as you mentioned earlier, this is what they've thrown out of a lot of times. And they are going to drop back and throw. They have a man, but Bassaru is hurried, and he's flushed out of the pocket. He doesn't mind running. And he'll pick up 9 yards. As you mentioned, he doesn't mind running the ball.
Does not mind running the ball.
First down, tackle on the play by Shane.
And he's the type of player, you look, gets a little bit of space, he can make something happen.
So a nice 9-yard pickup there on kind of a broken play after he was flushed out to his left. That'll bring up 2nd down and 1 from the 44. Again, 3 receiver set. And he's not going to be able to get away from that tackle. Couple defenders in the backfield bringing him down back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, so that looked like a design blitz by the Hurricanes there. Coming off the edge, field side.
And they weren't able to pick that up. The Sea-Wolves offensive line tackled at the 36-yard line. Bring up 3rd down and 9. Obviously 4-down territory. Sea-Wolves will elect to take a timeout and talk it over here in the fourth quarter. They trail 35-6. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. 4:18 to play in the fourth quarter. Sea-Wolves after the timeout. 3rd and long. They're going to go deep. He has a man, and he does have the completion all the way down to the 25.
And who else was here?
He's really been their only weapon downfield, and he's caught a number of them.
37 yards on the play.
So a big pass, and they seem to have come in the big spots. You know, there was the 4th down conversion. There was a 3rd down and long. So at least gives them some life. I mean, with 4:18 to go and down 4 scores, probably not just not enough time to come back, but good to see them fighting here. And that's going to be a false start.
Here we are with another penalty.
Another shift on the defensive line, and the left tackle looked like he moved. We'll bump him back 5 yards. Spot the ball at the 31-yard line. Clock moving here, being kept on the field. Inside 4 minutes to play. Again, the 3 wide receiver formation. And Vassar is going to look to his right, throws it up, and it's batted away. Looked like Kobe Peach had his hand on that one. And he had the interception earlier, kind of that free safety there.
Yep.
Kind of roaming the side, and Vassarou really just kind of telegraphing that one, and Peach is able to jump that route. On the interception, there was nobody even in the area.
Right.
Peach just picked it off, and now we got a penalty flag on the far side. I'm not sure what that one was for. It's obviously against the Sea-Wolves as they're backing up.
Yeah, Jeremy, if you add up all the penalty yardage tonight versus their positive yardage, there's some positives to look at for the Sea-Wolves tonight, but then there's some real negatives of, communication errors, the penalties, dropping the ball on the ground. That's what the things to clean up to really get going in the right direction. But there's some positive things to look at in moving the football with some of these kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get. You've got the team that, like we talked about, they were a co-op team. They combined a few years ago, struggling out of the gate this year, 1-4, coming on the road. You're right. If you go back, if you're Coach McDonald and you say there are some positives, let's look at it, but also some struggles.
Definitely. One of the interesting things to think about, too, is that, for all the years I've ever coached in a single school, I have no idea what it would even be like to, these kids don't see each other in the hallways every day.
Right.
Think about, we just had our pep rally here at school today. They do all these things together as a team, and it must be challenging to have these kids from 2 separate schools get together for a couple hours a day. And then hopefully, afterwards they spend time together, and, it's a different dynamic. I'm sure it brings on another set of challenges.
And, I mean, just combining the programs. I know it's been 3 years, but I mean, from your point of view, from the coaching and recruiting and things like that, 3 years isn't really that much time. You haven't even gone through one cycle of class.
Right,
you get the freshmen; they're only juniors now, so it kind of takes a little bit of a. I mean, I know it's not recruiting in the same sense of a college, but getting that whole team set up and out of the timeout, the pitch, and it's going to be negative play as Schmidt is tackled or spun out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and he broke free from one tackler, and then he ended up going even more further backwards.
Again, there's another outside linebacker blitz there by design by the Hurricanes that come off the edge there and split the defender and came up, pushed him back, and ran backwards several yards to avoid it. Now we're looking at a third and
a long way.
3rd and 50.
Yeah, pretty close to it. I mean, they're at the 40-yard line, and they've got to get all the way down inside the 20.
Yep.
So, 48 yards. Big 3rd down throw coming up, and it's Sears, and he is almost going to come up with it. It was tipped by the defender and almost fell into the receiver's hands, but it's an incomplete pass, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We'll have a 4th and 43.
I mean, at this point, it's probably a punt for the Sea-Wolves. You're down 4 scores, and
I would think so here.
I guess it doesn't matter if you give up the short field, because if you're Matt Trombley, you're just going to Hartford, you're just going to run the ball up the middle, but still.
Yeah, looks like Hartford's not even going to field the punt. They'll just let him kick it.
Can't imagine too much pressure either. Just going to get the kick off. And it is tipped at the line. And then takes a little bit of a bounce for the Sea-Wolves, and that's where they'll down it at the 33-yard line. The Hurricanes will take over. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back. 2:17 to play here in the 4th quarter. Hurricanes taking over there off the punt. And a handoff to the right side. Burek with the 4 or 5 yard pickup. Looks like a new quarterback under center.
Yeah, looks like we got sophomore quarterback Colin Bailu out there.
So Bailu getting some snaps inside a couple of minutes. Really just running the clock down, maybe pick up a 1st down and end this thing. 2nd down and 5. It was Hartford running out to a big 21-0 lead before giving up a touchdown before halftime to go in the locker room at 21-6, and then a scoreless third quarter before the Hurricanes scoring 2 in the fourth quarter, and that's where we sit now, 35-6. Shea Bean goes to the outside, then cuts it up the middle, shakes a defender, and comes up short of the first down marker, 3rd down and 1.
Tackle by number 60, Silas Shepard.
Not sure the clock situation is being kept on the field, but they started this drive with 2:17 to play. Maybe one more first down. 35-6 the score, and Sea-Wolves will take a drive back up north. Less than a minute to play here in the fourth quarter, so
Yeah, Hartford in victory here. Just going to kneel on it.
kneel it down,
Kneeling it for the Hurricanes.
and then let some more clock run down.
Assuming that we are under a minute left in the game.
Maybe let the clock run out here.
That was a 1-yard loss for
So
Baylor.
35-6, the Hurricanes will get the win. They move to 3-3, and South Burlington Sea-Wolves will fall to 1-5. Sea-Wolves are at Colchester next week. Hartford is at St. Johnsbury before they return here to Rutland, and then that's going to be an exciting one. It's always a big game when Middlebury, Rutland, and Hartford, those three teams play each other.
Yeah, rivalries go back a ways. Rutland is definitely a rivalry. Mike Norman is the head coach, and he and Mike Stone have been friends for so long. And I've coached Shrine games, North-South games with Mike Norman. I have a lot of respect for him, and I've learned a lot from him.
So that'll be in a couple of weeks here, and we will be back here as well for that one. And that is going to do it. The final score here, 35-6. The Hurricanes take care of business on a Friday night over the South Burlington Sea-Wolves. We will take a break, come back with a wrap-up and the player of the game on the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back. Final score here from White River Junction, Vermont, 35-6. The Hartford Hurricanes defeat the South Burlington Sea-Wolves. Jeremy Stout, Ben Gardner, and Ben, a great game for the Hurricanes. First, let's do the award, the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating, turning up the heat, player of the game. Who you got for that award?
I got to thank tonight's Cole Jasmine, rushing for a touchdown, throwing for 2 touchdowns, and completing the few passes he needed to open up the running game, and really had a pretty stellar performance, throwing some nice balls tonight.
Yeah, he started the scoring with a 1-yard touchdown run on the QB keeper, and then he threw the 9-yard touchdown pass, and then capped it off at the end of the game with a 19-yard touchdown pass to go up 35-6. And if you're the Hurricanes, you're back to 500, 3-3 on the season. Do you have a game on the road next week against St. Johnsbury?
That'll be a tough one. Yeah.
It'll be a tough one then coming back here to Rutland, but a good win going in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can get a win at home and move forward and look at the positives, a win is a win. We've always said a win is a win. Anywhere you go, a win is a win. So they should be happy about tonight.
And for the Sea-Wolves, they drop to 1-5, and they are at Colchester next week. So it'll be a tough one for them as they continue that kind of the muddy waters of the co-op and the combined teams as we were talking about at the end of the game. It's always tough to do that, and they're still clearly struggling, but a good effort here tonight. Yeah. Just have some things to clean up, and they'll get better. Ben, I want to thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed it.
We had some good insight from Ben as a former coach and helps out with the team, so we appreciate you all for watching. Next week we'll be at Hanover. The Marauders will host the game on Friday night. It will air on Sunday. Thanks for watching the YCN Game of the Week.